Hi, I'm Jim with Pour the Juice, and in this video, we have another Distillery Duel. This is going to be one of my favorites because it's two bottles that I love. Um, we have the Knob Creek 12 and the newly reviewed Knob Creek 10, which has become one of my favorite, 10 rye, which has become one of my favorite ryes that I've tasted recently. And obviously, these are going to be fairly easy to discern between the two, I would think, I hope, with my palate. But I do just want to see what I enjoy more. Um, the Knob Creek 12 has historically been one of my favorite bottles of bourbon, one that I think has been extremely overrated or underrated by most people. And this being new to me, I want to see if I, maybe overrated it a bit in my review. But let's get to it. So for this blind, I'm going to use the A for the Knob Creek Rye, and then I'm going to use the little B tag for the bourbon. It just helps me remember a little bit easier. I got extremely lucky a year and a half ago, where these Knob Creek 12s I found on sale for half off. And luckily I knew how good they were at the time, so I grabbed a few of them. But it was a few at like $35 each. And, at that price, literally I don't think anything could beat it. But let me get the tag on and then start mixing them up a little bit. Like I said, I don't think it's going to be too difficult to tell which is which. But in case it is, this will make it a little bit more fun. If you enjoy these types of videos, let me know in the comments. Let me know what other distillery duels you'd like to see. And, by distillery duels, I just mean two bottles made by the same distillery going heads up against each other. If you enjoy the format, let me know. Like the video. If you like my content, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, let me get to the nose on this first glass. Smells good. Smells Knob Creeky. I'm a big Beam fan. Not huge, but I do enjoy Jim Beam quite a bit. As you've seen, I've done a few Booker's videos. But I do think the Knob Creek line is probably the best value for Jim Beam. One thing I love about the 12 is when I got really, really into bourbon, it was because I found a bottle. It was a store pick of Stag Junior at the time, and it had a blueberry note on it. And I never had that in whiskey before. I've talked about this before, so I apologize if you've heard this rant. But after I got that, I went on a frenzy trying to find any bottle that had that note. And I remember seeing a review on Reddit where somebody said Knob Creek 12 had a blueberry note. So I picked it up and I got it a little bit. But in general, I think I fell in love with Knob Creek 12 at that point because of the sweetness, because of the proof. I feel like you get a good amount of flavor for 100 proof. And the bottle was around $68. It felt like, there aren't many bottles today under $100 that feel like something special. And I still feel like Knob Creek has that, the 12 year. And I think that's why I like it so much. I do feel like it's, if you're sipping it, you're sipping something special for a great price. I'm thinking this is the 12 year at least. Maybe it's not. It's very good. I definitely get that Jim Beam peanut note, but it's all the way in the back, behind a lot of dark sugars, behind some fruit. It's a nice sweet pick. Sweet pour, not pick. Let's see about this one. It would be funny if got the two mistaken. It's difficult for me to pull something off this nose compared to the other one. Whatever's in this glass is a lot more fragrant. However, this has a bigger palate, I think. And I do believe I'm getting a lot of rye notes on this. So I'm going to guess this is the Knob Creek 10 rye. If it's not, this is going to be a very embarrassing video for me. Not really. But it'll be fun. Fun either way. This is nice. It's opening a little bit more on the nose now. Getting some vanillas. Some baking spice. Cinnamon. Maybe some cherry in there. I'm getting that rye spice on the tongue. Like I said, it's going to be really funny if that's not what it is. This is tough so far. I don't know if I could pick a favorite based on going through once. Really do enjoy these both. I've talked about values of the Knob Creek 12-year bourbon, but there aren't too many 10-year ryes on the market either, especially under that $100 mark. I do think, I know, I prefer a Jack Daniel's barrel proof rye over the 10-year Knob Creek rye. But if, I said this in that video too, if you're not a huge fan of high proof, max volume whiskey, then I do think this could be one of the next best things in that same price range. Whoops. Yeah, it's nice. This is tough. I generally love ryes. I've talked a big game on the 10-year rye here. But there's just something about the 12-year bourbon from Knob Creek that really hits me in the right spot. I do wish it was a little bit higher proof. I love the Knob Creek 9-year selects that are 120, 125, whatever they are. Love those bottles. And I really do think, the 12-year at cask strength would be fantastic. I wish I would have been able to get my hands on one of those when they came out with them back in the day. It's the only thing I think this is missing, for me personally. Yeah, this is going to be my favorite. So I'm going to reveal that first. Like I said, if it's the B, it's the bourbon. It's the B. So, like I said, Knob Creek Rye 10-year is great, but the 12-year bourbon is just fantastic. It's one of my favorites. It's one of the best values on the market. And to me, at least comparing these two together, it is my favorite bottle, favorite value out of the line. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Cheers.